In this video, I'm going to be discussing 3 ways to improve or manage your data inside of your CRM system. Now, I'm sure you know as well as I do, data is absolutely vital inside of any CRM system. And if you've got bad data, you are going to be severely affected. No one's going to trust the system. And as a result, no one's going to use it. So we need to keep our data as good as we possibly can. So in this video, I'll be discussing ways in which we can do that. Welcome CRM crew, my name is Nick. If you are a returning visitor or subscriber, welcome, thank you for coming back. Or if you are new, thank you for giving this video a watch. So let's get straight to the first point. And this is a point that is often neglected. This is something a lot of businesses actually don't seem to do, which takes me by surprise. And that is they do not use the leads area. That may be because they don't understand it and they may think that the opportunities or the deals and the leads are exactly the same. But they are not. And let me explain. I will explain what leads are, and then I'm going to explain why you should use them. So leads inside of any CRM system, and most if not all CRM systems have them, I describe it as a bit of a dumping ground, right? Not in a bad way. It's a really, really useful dumping ground because it allows us to track anything that could potentially turn into a sale. Now, I'm sure you've had this instance where maybe you've had a conversation with someone or someone sent an email. You're not entirely convinced, or you really are, you're almost certain that it's definitely not a sale. It's definitely not at that point where you start going through the sales process. But at the same time, it's useful information. They have shown a small bit of interest. It's definitely worth tracking. This is where we use our leads area, right? So we put it in our dumping ground, we manage it. This allows us to track that information, but at the same time, leads is isolated. It has no relationship with anything else inside of your CRM system, which as a result means you're not going to pollute the quality data in your accounts, your contacts, and your opportunities. But at the same time, you can store this information. A lot of people, when this instance happens, they just go, oh, we'll create a sale. That's how we'll manage that. But that degrades the quality of the system because you have to create a contact and an account, and that might not be valuable data. That email, you may never even get a response from them. I've had that myself. So use the leads area. This is going to reduce any chance of polluting data inside your system because you're managing information that is not of high value from one place only. You can keep track of it and you're not putting it all over the system. So if you are not using the leads area, that is what you need to do. If you are using the leads area, good on you. This is definitely preventing bad data or you degrading the quality of your data inside of the system. And of course, try out the leads area because you will be able to see you have a pipeline there. You can track the stages inside the leads. And then when they become of value, you then convert it into an account, contact, and opportunity or deal, whatever it's called, in your system. So that's one way of improving or managing the data inside of your CRM system. Number 2 is, this is an instance if you have already got bad data. And this could be for any reason. It could be because people just throw random information in, and that's very common. Or the system might be really old, or the data might be really old. You've had it for a long time. People move around, change jobs, emails change, things like that. This is reactive. We want to do a data cleanse on the system, and this is going to drastically improve the quality of your data inside of the system. Now, the way to do this, you have got 2 options. You could do this internally and you could get someone inside of your team to go through the data. And this is absolutely possible. I'll explain how in a moment. Go through the data, go through each contact and then make changes and obviously improve the data or make the changes so the data is then accurate and remove anything that is inaccurate. Or you could get someone external. We used to offer this as a service. I'm sure there are plenty of businesses out there that offer this as a service, a data cleanse service. They'll come in, they go through the data inside of your CRM system and look for ways in which they can improve it. So they go through each contact. Now, if you want to do this internally, this is absolutely fine. Let me walk you through how we used to do it. So this is a little bit of knowledge here. What we would do is we would go into the system, we would discuss with the client, so you could do this internally, discuss with your team what do you want to achieve from this project. And so let's say we want to clean all the contacts. We would then get LinkedIn's an amazing tool for this. Sales Navigator can be useful, but that's more on the research side. You can just use the standard LinkedIn. You want to just search, and it seems really simple, but you just want to search for the name of that particular contact, and you want to see what's going on. They may have left, they may have retired, they may have changed jobs, and from there, if you are able to find them on LinkedIn, 9 times out of 10 you will be able to find them. Then all you need to do is just update that in your CRM system. Now, the name and the account, who they work for, that's all really important, but the real value is in the email address. Now, what you want to do for your email address is you want to search for the company that they've moved to, and you want to search their email format, right? So let me give you an example for my business. My email is nick@crmcrew.co.uk. So that's first name at, and then their company domain. But I'm sure Amazon will have last name dot first name. So in that instance, it'll be boardman.nick@amazon.co.uk or .com. All right. So use a tool called Rocket Reach. This will allow you to find their domain or their email format. Now, there may be a few different formats available, and especially in the bigger companies, the Rocket Reach will show you the percentage that that email format is used, but you can then check this. So you can now start doing some testing. So once you've found their most common email format, there's no point in putting it in the system unless you definitely know it's going to work, right? So now you want to use a tool called hunter.io. You will have to pay depending on how much you are using it, or how many searches or verifying, how many times you're verifying the email, but essentially it allows you to verify an email. So if I search into hunter.io, nick@crmcrew.co.uk, I can then verify to check if it's an active mailbox, if it works. It will give you a load of status information. So if the domain's active, if the email's active, if it hits the inbox, it's going to give you a load of information. Once you've done that, you can then update the record. Now, I know this is a very long process. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's absolutely worth it. So use LinkedIn to find out where they are, if they've retired, still working, where they're working, their name, if that's changed, because that does happen. If they get married, their name changes. And then use Rocket Reach to find that email format, and then hunter.io to confirm their email, and then update it in the system. Now, unfortunately, we can't get phone numbers, but I'm sure if you drop an email, you do a bit of cold emailing, you might be able to do that. But that's not part of this video. So we've done that. Use the leads area. That's really important. Data cleanse. If you've got bad data, and that could be old, or people have just thrown random stuff in, then do the data cleanse. And then thirdly, and finally, the final point I want to make is introduce a data policy into your business around your CRM system. Do this because this is going to prevent people from just throwing in really random information that is all too common. It's very often that this happens. And this is because often people are trying to be useful. They are trying to help everyone else, but without realizing they're actually just affecting the quality of the data. So a lot of the time people think, oh, it's better to track it than not track it, but this may not actually be the case. So create a data policy, confirm with your team everything that you do want to track, everything that actually is useful to the business, and then also outline everything you don't want to track. You might find that you've got more on the don't list than on the do list, but that's fine. That's good. That means we keep the data inside of your CRM system at the highest possible quality. Okay, so make a data policy. It can be really, really simple. Literally just the do's and don'ts list, or you can get quite extensive with it. If they do not have this, then do this. If they do have this piece of data, then do that. But once you've done the data policy, there's no point in just writing it out and just having it lying about. Make sure you enforce it. Inform your team of the policy. Make them sign it if you'd like to. And that just holds everyone accountable. It means they've read it. It means they've gone through it all. And this will prevent you from damaging the quality of your data inside of your CRM system. And that is obviously really important. CRM system, the quality of the data is vital to the success of it, like we discussed at the start of this video. So that data policy is going to make a massive, massive difference to the business, and just making sure everyone is on the same page, because as much as people like to be helpful, and they think they are being helpful, they might not be. So ensuring we've got a data policy, everyone is familiar with that policy, making them sign it, that is really going to help you ensure you maintain the quality of the data inside of your CRM system. So hopefully this video has been of use to you. Using the leads area, do a data cleanse if you've got bad data, and introduce a data policy. One other point on introduce a data policy: if you've done a data cleanse and then you don't, so you've gone through all the time of doing a data cleanse and then you don't introduce a data policy, it's just going to be a very vicious circle, and that situation will never get better. Do a data cleanse, the quality of the data is high, slowly degrades to the point where it's absolutely useless, and then you have to do a data cleanse again. So that data policy will be very, very useful. Hopefully this video has been useful as well. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like, possibly even subscribe. To any subscribers who have watched the video, thank you for giving it a watch, and I will hopefully see you soon in the next video. Thank you and goodbye.